What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we will continue working on our rally raffle bike, our Serveta Jet 200. In the previous couple of videos you saw what I had to do to get it to this point, so today we'll try to keep going on it and hopefully get it one step closer to actually starting it. So yeah, if you guys are ready, let's get to it. Alright, in the last video you saw that we put a new ignition system in here, and we do have spark. So today we're going to continue working on this just to seal this area up. And of course, in true Lambretta fashion, it's actually 3 pieces just to do that. And what I'm talking about is this hole up here that the wires are coming out of. Okay, so 3 pieces. The metal piece on the bottom first, and then there's a rubber grommet in between, another metal piece on the top, and there's 2 bolts that hold it onto the case. So like that. All right, that's good. And the third piece on the top. 3 pieces just to seal that opening. Incredible. All right. Okay, so this kind of all stacks up together and goes on to bolts onto the case. You can see what I'm doing. So it looks something like that all together. 2 bolts to secure it to the case. Okay, so next up, I'm going to drop the front of the motor just so I can get this cylinder shroud back on. And after that, we can work on the exhaust. Alright guys, I got the exhaust all bolted back up. I gotta say that was a little bit of a pain. Oh my gosh. So actually stripped one of these nuts, these brass nuts, to actually hold the exhaust manifold to the cylinder head. So I'm gonna have to get another one of these. But yeah, I got this all back up. Now I'm gonna show you how to time the motor without actually starting the motor. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I will once again be using my Buzzwangle tool to set the timing on this motor. First thing I will do is screw the piston stop into the spark plug hole. All right, screw the piston stop into the hole here. go back to the other side. Okay, now that the piston stop installed, I'm going to turn the flywheel all the way counterclockwise until it stops. Right there, okay? After that, I'm going to screw in this Buzzwangle flywheel adapter platform thing. It's actually made for different flywheels, so that's the right thread pitch for this one. And tighten the center bolt until it locks onto the flywheel nut. That's good enough. Now put the gauge on. Zero the gauge, and then turn the flywheel clockwise all the way till it stops. All right, I want to call that 59.2. You divide that, divide that by 2. 29.6. So now I'm going to pull the piston stop out. Okay. Now I'm going to continue turning the flywheel till it hits 29.6 degrees. So keep going clockwise. 29.6. Okay, that's top dead center. So what I want to do is put a mark. There's an arrow in the flywheel, which you can see right there. I'm going to put a mark with 29.6. Put a mark right here, top dead center. Close enough. Okay, that's top dead center. Now, this motor's supposed to be timed 21 degrees before top dead center. So I'm going to go to 29.6 again. Zero the gauge. 29.6, zero the gauge. There you go. And I'll go 21 degrees counterclockwise. This is 21 degrees before top dead center. I'll put a mark there. I'm using the arrow on the flywheel as the mark. So if the arrow is pointing here, the first dot, that's top dead center. And it's pointing here to the second dot, that's 21 degrees before top dead center. So let me see here. That 21 degrees before top dead center. Approximate's good. Let me see here. There you go, and there you go. Okay, so now when I flash the motor, I should be able to see this arrow line up with this dot. If it does, then I don't have to do anything to the stator. But if it doesn't, I'll have to adjust the stator till the arrow matches with this first dot here. All right, so on the flywheel, there's an arrow right here, as you can see. This spot I made earlier, that's 21 degrees before top dead center. This spot over here is top dead center. So now I'm going to spin the motor with my drill, because obviously I can't start it right now. And I'm going to flash the motor. If this arrow lines up with this mark, we should be good to go. So, all right, let's move into that. Hopefully you can see this. Hopefully you saw that, but that actually pretty close. It could turn the stator maybe a hair clockwise, but I'm gonna leave it the way it is for now, and we'll maybe adjust it later. All right, now that I have the timing all set, I'm gonna pop the flywheel off again, just to double check those 10mm bolts holding the stator on. So I'm gonna do that by screwing in my flywheel remover tool, and then turning this bolt in the center. Pop it off like that. All right. sure that these 10mm bolts are nice and tight. And okay. Good enough. All right, let's do the same thing and slip it back on. Okay. Okay, so I got the flywheel reinstalled. Now I'm gonna torque down this nut. I don't have the actual Lambretta flywheel holding tool, but I do have this variator holding tool, which works just fine. It goes somewhere like this, like that. Torque this guy down 50 foot-pounds counterclockwise. Okay, good. All right, perfect. All right, so next up, I'll put the cap back on. Something like this. The retaining ring. All right, that's it. Okay, so I took the CEI off that little temporary bracket I had here, and I actually made myself another bracket. Just welded this little thing up, and this will actually bolt on where the spare tire mounts are, like down here. It puts the CEI up here. So typically on the older Lambrettas, there's two holes drilled through the frame, and they actually make a bracket that bolts through those two holes. But I guess these newer ones don't have that, and I don't like drilling unnecessary holes, so this is what I came up with to mount the CEI sort of where it would usually go. So yeah, let's get this all bolted up real quick. So you can see I've got the CEI mounted up in this cavity here with this bracket that I made. So I actually checked the continuity between these this bracket and the actual frame. So the ground is good. So I have the yellow wire coming off the CEI grounded to the back of this bolt here. I've got the wires cut down and also re-terminated off the harness from the stator, and then the spark plug wire I have routed up here to the front there. So yeah, it's all nice and neat, and this should be good to go. Okay, so next up is the fuel system. I guess on the late model Servetas, the fuel valve is here rather than here. So I don't like this, and I don't think you can get these parts anymore. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to put in, you know, your typical fuel lever that's supposed to go here, and actually put in the fuel valve into the tank, which I have right here. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove this old fuel filter. So I have the new one here, and to put this in, it just took me a minute to figure it out, but you have to leave this. There's a plastic spacer, I guess, goes there, and then the nut, and you gotta leave it loose because you have to tighten it onto the fuel tap and onto the tank at the same time. So just put this through into the tank, and the tank was actually drained before they stored this thing, so it's actually pretty clean. But yeah, like I said, you gotta leave this thing loose, and you kind of tighten it at the same time onto the tank and onto the fuel valve, like this. See how it's both going up and also pulling the fuel valve up while it's doing that. And then I gotta say, this is an aftermarket I guess fast flow valve, so it's really close to the mount, but it clears, so that's good. Now let's try to put on the new lever. Okay, so I have the new rod here, also from Scootopia, ordered through Scooters Originali, and also have a grommet. So I went ahead and pulled the plug off here. I'm gonna replace it with this grommet. And that way we can put the fuel valve, lever through, and it won't rest up against the frame. So, let's see if I can get this in there real quick. Okay, nice and tight. Got that through. Now I'll insert the fuel lever as such. And as you can see over here, it just takes a nice cotter pin through to link that up like that. And then now when you actually turn it, well, I think it's the other way, but like this. Yep, like that, I think. Like that, and like that. Put a cotter pin through here, and this fuel lever is done. Okay, so I have the lever installed, and by the way, I know it's black, but it's the easiest for me to get, so that'll have to do. Anyways, it's hooked up to the fuel valve here with the cotter pin. So now when I actually turn it like this is the on position, and this is reserve, and then all the way back up is closed. So yeah, this seems to be working good. So yeah, I'll tighten this nut here, and this should be done. All right, so here I have the carb. I'm just going to give it a nice once over, just to make sure all the jets are clear, and then I'll probably put it back in. Like I said, the tank was drained when they stored this, so I can't imagine this being all gunked up, but let's take a look. Never mind. Yeah, might need a little cleaning. Okay, I'm gonna take the jets out of it and clean it up a little bit, and then hopefully this carb is still good. Otherwise, I'll get another one. All right. Alright, I'll take the jets out of this thing. I never cleaned one of these carbs before, so I have no idea what I'm doing, to be honest with you. But, yeah, it's gunked up. Let's get the jets out of it and see what we got. Hopefully it's not one of those SI carbs in a Vespa where the circuits get all gunked up and you got to replace the entire carb. This one looks to be okay. I'm going to spray some cleaner in these holes to see if they go, if the passages are clear. If they are, then we should be okay. That's a little seized. There you go. Yeah, that looks okay. That looks good too. All right. All right, and pull the float out and actually have a new needle replaced with that. All right, I'm gonna try to pull the float out by pulling this little pin here. Hopefully it comes out. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, that's good. Looks like it's okay. Who knows? All right, I'm just going to spray all these passages in the carb, make sure they're clear, and maybe brush off some of this gunk. I got to take off this fuel inlet. I do have some gaskets and things I can replace this with, so do that. Yep. Yeah, looks pretty clean too. A little bit of residual stuff, but overall this carb is actually not bad. All right, let me pump this filter out, or the screen out. Try not to damage this thing. There you go. Okay, not bad. Okay, I'm gonna go spray all the passages with some carb cleaner, make sure they're clear, and then we can go and install this thing again. All right, just poking through these jets, make sure they're clear. Yep, I can see light through them. Okay, that one's good. This one should just be here and here. That one's good too. This one here. Okay. All right, I think I have everything cleaned up. Now we'll go ahead and reassemble everything. But yeah, this carb seems to be okay. I blew out all the passages, and I felt air go through every single one of them. So yeah, we should be good as soon as I reassemble this thing. All right, so I'll do that real quick. Okay, I've got new gaskets everywhere on this thing. Jets are clear. Yeah, they should be good. I'm gonna reinstall the bike, put some fuel in it, and we'll see if we can kick it over. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall this fan shroud real quick before I actually bolt the carb on. All right. Just a couple of these M4 bolts that hold it on, so should be quick. All right, we got the fan shroud all bolted back on. Now let's put the carb back on. All right, I got a fuel line temporarily on here, and then I got the carb bolted back on. It's just literally one 8mm bolt or a flathead screw back here. I got the choke cable hooked up, throttle cable hooked up. So next up, really, we just need to put fuel in it and see if we can kick it over. All right, let's do that. All right, I'll put some fuel into the tank. Fancy little pump. All right, so before I start this thing, and put some gear oil in it, so I'll burn up the transmission. So that's good. Okay, so to put gear oil in this thing, you have to remove the fill bolt, which is this one up here. Okay, so the gasket here I'm going to replace. With that one. This drain bolt or fill bolt. I'm not sure what you call this one, but this one's a drain bolt down here. So all three of them have gaskets I'm going to replace. So when you go to fill the transmission, you got to reinstall the bottom one first. And then fill the transmission with fluid. And then when it starts leaking out of this hole, then you know it's full. And then you can put this plug back on and then put the fill bolt back on. All right, we got 3 brand new gaskets for these fill drain bolts. One down here first. I'll lock this one on. Okay. All right, now that I got the drain bolt reinstalled, we can fill this thing with oil. Like I said, you fill the oil. Once it starts dripping out of this hole, then you know the gearbox is full. So I'm using SAE 30 non-detergent from Napa. This is actually what I use in the Vespas as well. So, all right, now it started pouring out. I should be able to put this plug back on. And then the fill bolt. This one doesn't have to be extremely tight. All right. Okay, now let's clean up a little bit and see if we can start it. All right, now that we've got fuel and oil in it, let's see if we can kick it over. Well, there you have it. She runs. Like I said, it's not rocket surgery. You know, as long as you have the right tools, some patience, and the manual, anybody can do this. But anyways, the next videos, I will be putting together the body. Probably doing some wiring and, of course, some tuning. The side panels are actually with one of our club mates right now. He's painting them for us. So hopefully those will be done soon. Scooter Mercado's sponsorship stuff should also be coming next week. If you haven't already, make sure you check out Dave at scootermercado.com. He can actually get you whatever Vespa parts you need, and actually some Lambretta parts as well. So yeah, hope you guys are excited as I am, but that's going to be it for tonight. If you guys